Please be strong. Everything is light, even though we die. So don't cry, don't give up the fight. Give it all you've got. Say with me, dear, let your soul run free with Martin. With me, everything is good. Everything is good. Please be strong. We can get it right till the darkness light. Please be still. Everything is light. Don't give up the fight. Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good.
So my throat hurts. Yeah, so I'm gonna have the deeper voice tonight. I can see that already. Well, hi everyone. Oh, let's see. Hi Max, hi Sue, hi Joe, Lorenita, Scott, Alfonso, Krista, Mai, Brian. Hi Brian. Wendy. Hey Reed, what's up? Who else is here? Rita, Carlos Mode, Gahan. Nice to meet you last night, by the way. Wendy, everyone is here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm a little groggy because I always am after a show of like, screaming, jumping, and all that stuff that happens at shows. But am I looking at this camera? Oh God. See, I'm so off kilter. All I can think of is the mantra from last night. Drink your drink. Yeah, that didn't work out so well in the end. No, I don't want to say it like that. It worked out just fine, except that I got home like, I don't know, 3:40, something like that. So yeah, I'm tired. I was thinking, I'm not going to stream. I can take the night off. Of course I can. But, I decided not to. I thought I was going to play instead the mellower side of Abox. Not that we really did that last night, sort of. But it was good. No, it was really awesome last night. I just want to say, hi TMT Mixes and hi Krista. So everybody's here. Nice. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Oh, anyone? Oh, Claudio B's in the house. Yeah, drink. He says, no more drinking. No. But it was really, really awesome. It was good. It was a very, very good show in Hollywood at the Virgil. It was sort of catharsis in a way. So many emotional moments, but I think the funniest thing that happened was that there was a bad cable in the switching of in between the bands and all that. There was a bad cable, and so what would happen is my kick drums would trigger this short. So it literally sounded like the entire mix was glitching out like really bad in the opening track. The sad thing was that the opening track was Jubilation. So it was like I came in with everything firing, but it was backfiring. But what was really awesome and what, in my opinion, made the entire evening, and I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart, what made the entire evening happen was the fact that everyone kept singing even when it was messing up, and it turned into like a weird a cappella mix, and it was so good to hear everyone just like refuse to give in to the idea of it falling apart, and it was so good. That made my evening, because anything like that, when it goes wrong, it can go terribly wrong. And it did for a little bit, but we got it sorted out. It took a few tries here and there to get it all sorted out, but eventually we got it figured out. But that moment of panic, because it's the first song, already started that weirdness. But I gotta tell you, man, hearing everyone singing at the top of their lungs and doing such a good job doing it, it was one of the highlights of this year for me, for sure. This show, so totally stoked. Um, he said closing with my favorite song. So here's another thing that's really funny. So I have this rule, right? And I didn't say it last night, but I have this unspoken rule from lessons I've learned, which is, I don't know if I should. Nah, never mind. I'm going to tell you anyway. But the rule is Living in Oblivion, because it's the most popular song, obviously, for obvious reasons. I hold it off to last, meaning whatever it is, whether it's an encore or whatever the heck the song is, once that song is done, it's over, because it's like super long. It's got, remix elements in it, a bunch of stuff when I can't even speak tonight. When I do it live, it's very different, much more energy. And so rarely am I going to come back after that and do something. But last night it was funny. Like, people kept, insisting I come back on. I had done everything that I thought I was going to do. So, I mean, we went basically without a break. But what was cool was that when I came back up, people asked, for I Felt the Pain and or Carmen, and I did a vote. I was like, you can only get one, because I was like already tired to the point where I was like literally going to collapse. But they chose I Felt the Pain, which was the only song I had not planned on doing for the entire evening, and I had not rehearsed. It's the only one, because everything else I had rehearsed. I had done, my due diligence. So I thought I had it down, and I messed up on a verse, but it was kind of funny. So yeah, I require rehearsals. It's important. Rehearsals are important. Oh, thank you for the hugs. Thank you. Um, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Um, my highlights, my own personal highlights, because it's not just not just crowd response or anything like that. There was a lot of cool things that happened last night, but my highlights were, I have to say, transitions, which was really cool, because I brought something out, which I have with me today. This, my radio remote, which not only is it a shortwave radio, but this controls some lights. But last night it wasn't quite working the way it was supposed to. But for this song, everything worked the way it was supposed to, and it was kind of a cool modular-esque moment, and I loved it. So that be my show and tell for the evening. Good night. No, I'm kidding. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I think, well, first of all, I don't drink very often. So having the drinks up there didn't help much, but it helped ease the nerves a little, but it was funny. Um, it all hit me after everything was over, and so I had to wait before I could leave, because, I had to drive, so I had to wait for a while. But it took a long time to get everything packed up. So, like I said, I got home really late, really, really late. But it was so awesome to play Hollywood. And what can I say? Oh, and I don't want to not talk about this. Um, Blacklight was awesome. They were really, really good. And Bob Haro was very, very good. I enjoyed both bands tremendously. I was watching from the sidelines, obviously, or back sideline. Um, and it was good. It was really, really good. So I think the entire evening was a win. But uh, we'll get into more of that later. Because I had that show is interesting in the way that certain things were picked because it was the 30th anniversary for Hope, so I wanted to pick a mostly Hope set. But yeah, I wound up playing stuff from Peace, and actually, now that I think of it, I think those are the only two albums I played stuff from. I don't think oh no, there was a Worth track. There was. So I felt like it was a good flow. Claudio B agrees with me that it was a nice flow. I think it was. I did miss out on a song that I didn't play last night that was on the set and that I had rehearsed and it was all set, but for some reason last night it just didn't happen. But I'll tell you what that is when I come back. Meanwhile, I'm going to start with a song from Recovered. So we're going to play a lot of weird things tonight because it's going to be a lot of the weirder, odder, more surreal side of Abox, if that's a thing. So this is Faith, and I'm going to turn on the overhead for this. Okay? Overhead on. Here it comes.
Everybody has a faith. Everybody craves the warm embrace that hides in the depths of adversity. It lives in the edges of what we need. 'Cause all we are is all we know. 'Cause everything else no one can show. What is the reason for who we are? Waiting for the answer to drive us far. Sometimes I wish there was a way to bring the calm back in the days when it all seems so exposed. Make it last forever. And all the dreams you did not wish, I'll steal them all from you tonight. All you have to say is go. Make it last forever. Everybody has a faith. Everybody craves the warm embrace. Everybody has a faith. Everybody has a faith. Everybody has a
Ha! I almost played another song in between, but it cuts off, unfortunately. So yeah, so I don't want to like overhype, uh, I don't know what's the word I want, but you know what I mean. I don't want to just like keep talking about Hollywood all night, but I'm still on a high from it because it was so good. We just, I don't know, it was very intimate and very, very ruckus and loud at the same time. Um, but what was really funny is that that night or yesterday they had announced. I say they because Robert was working on this. A show was announced for New York, but I hadn't like the date wasn't finalized in my head, so it was announced yesterday and some people asked me about it and I was like, I have no idea, but I guess they posted it, but it's official. I do have a gig. The next one is, well, I'll just show you because I can. So let's see if this works. Ooh, yes. Nope, that's a picture of me at the pipeline. But that's okay. That's an old picture. I guess they were trying to show. Oh, there it is. I'll go back up. There you go. June 3rd, 2023, at the Avenue in Long Island. Um, I will post the link to this event on the video tomorrow. But I guess it won't hurt to post it on the chat as well. Boom, here you go. Hope it works. If it doesn't, I'm sorry, but it's okay. It's early. Um, I'll get a chance to do it again, but oh gosh, my voice. But actually what's funny is I sound groggy, but my voice is fine, meaning the throat is not hurting. I'm not like injured. It's just, you know, almost the effect of being a bit hungover, cause yeah, that mantra from last night, man. A little bit hungover, um, and no worse for wear, but throat's fine. But yeah, yeah, for sure. Long Island, that's gonna be an interesting show as well, cause I haven't been there in a very, very long time. And for those of you who don't know, um, the reason Long Island has a bit of a history with A-Box is because one of my favorite radio stations in the entire world was there in Long Island, WLIR, which then became WDRE. And I have to tell you this story because it's a big deal, but I'll talk about it when I'm in Long Island as well. But one of the biggest thrills I ever got um, was not only hearing my song on the station, but that it made what was called then Screamer of the Week. So that was like, oh my God, I've died and gone to heaven. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're a teen and you're listening to this station and you're like all into it. And then suddenly you're on that station. That's a feeling that I swear it's unequaled. So anyway, so yeah, I am excited about Long Island. It's going to be fun. And I think I need more light. More light, please. Yeah, I think that's about as light as it's going to get. Oh, I see. The radio's casting the shadow. Do you know what we'll do? We'll use it as a light source. Now it's going to put weird patterns on my face. That's okay. That'll do. But drink your drink. That's all I heard last night. Drink your drink. Ah, if people only knew. But yeah, I had to wait to drive home, which was not fun. But all is well. I made it fine. Obviously, I'm here. I'm alive. I wasn't drunk when I drove, or anything like that. I wasn't really drunk. It's just, I was actually what did happen is I was kind of queasy because all that energy expended, but and I had made a mess of the upstairs room, which is also really funny. But anywho, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play another song, and then after I play the following song or set of songs, because it's gonna be twofer, I'll open up the phone line, and then you can call me. So you can get the number ready. So I'll put the number on the screen, but you can't call until obviously I release it. So right now it's muted, so I wouldn't hear it ringing. So don't call yet. But you can jot the number down, or if someone's kind enough to like paste it, that'd be nice. But at any rate, um, let's play a different song here that I had. Oh yeah, this. So I hadn't practiced this song. I wanted to do it, but then I realized that it would take an entire resequencing because I don't have any of its parts, which kind of made me sad. I'm still looking for them because it would have been good to do this song, but I didn't. So this is the track 8 into 9 of Hope, which is always fun. So it starts off a little weird, but it'll eventually turn into a song. We'll see. We'll turn on some, I don't know, visuals for this or something. We are all nerds in our own ways. Um, so yeah, I would have loved to have done that, and I wanted to rehearse it, and I thought for sure that we'd had it somewhere. And man, I searched through every hard drive that I have, and I didn't turn it up. And it's surprising because all the Hope songs I had done stem mixes back then for that purpose. So it was just like, oh man, I would have to resequence everything, find the drum sounds and whatnot. And a couple days before the show wasn't gonna happen. So that made me mad. But um, it was cool to do transitions, and um, it was hard for me to hear myself, but I hope it went okay. But it's because that's a tough one. But yeah, it was fun. So that was Hope, the title track. And someone was asking on the chat. Let me see. Let me go back because it's a funny question. I get this one a lot, so I thought I'd just clear the air. Um, Peace, love, hope, worth. What is that all about? What does it mean? Um, Originally we thought that all our albums were going to be called that in that order, or something of that sort. Um, but obviously that didn't happen because there's no album that we called Love. Um, Too many albums with that title as the album title, so we kind of But there wasn't that many albums with the words hope as the title, and of course, no one that I know of did an album called Worth but us. So it was just an easy way to do one word titles. But it's also they're positive words, but in spite of the fact that they're positive words, they come with challenges for all human beings. Yeah, right, Tim? That would have been funny. That sounds like a Blink 182 album. Fart. That would be funny. Um, but yeah, so I have a little question that I want to ask you guys about. So I was thinking about something today of these weird sets, right? Like, what if well, how do I premise this? Suppose you found out that I was doing a show somewhere, but I was very specific. In other words, on this day, I'm going to play these songs. This is why I'm playing these songs. And that's it. In other words, it's a set. And, from beginning to end, the program. But it's because, let's say the show is going to be, I don't know, let's just say it was more art performance. So the set would be chosen specifically for that night, and it would be, posted ahead of time. How would that go? Like, do you think you would go to something like that just because the set was pre-planned and you knew what I was going to play? Like, does that change things? Anyway, I'm just curious. But because I was thinking that would be kind of fun for me. Like, I thought, what if I did like, I don't know, 2 songs from every album, but I did it in a way that like they told a story, and then somehow I made it work, and it was pre-planned. Like, would that work? So anyway, but that aside, the phone line is open. Um, and you can call in if you like. Let me unmute so that I can actually hear the phone or the computer, which will ring. Oh God, this light is annoying me now. It's actually making me feel. No. Okay. Back you go. Yeah, there you go. And there it is.
Daniel.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Hello, you're on the air.
Claude, buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Hey, so getting to your question there about that theme, as far as like if you kept it to a theme, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like I think that a lot of bands have like toured on like an album per se, but I think that also part of that, like you need to keep like a certain part that is a question mark to the audience because you have so much material out there that is so good
Thank you for
that,
that.
hey, like, yeah, sure, let us know that you're going to play X number of songs and we know what it is, but still hit us with something else that we don't know what's coming, but we know that it's going to be good because it's anything box. So everything's good.
So check this out. So as I was listening to what you were saying, I remembered that we did do a show that was sort of like that. We did a show in Whittier, California, where basically the entire night was to introduce people to Recovered, the Recovered album. And I believe we actually handed out lyric sheets, or I had lyric sheets that night, but I think we actually handed out lyric sheets and we played 99.9% of that album in one night. So that would be like an interesting scenario. Like that's one time that we did it, but I don't consider that the same idea. Like that's what you said. It's like touring on the album that's going to be new, so you're going to play a bunch of songs. I
Well, it doesn't
think
have to be new. It doesn't have to be new per se, but the fact that your fans know what that album is that you're playing.
gotcha. Yeah, it's an interesting debate. I was thinking about it that if you don't tell, then obviously, and you do it, then that's a whole different, set of rules because obviously people like want to go hear their favorite songs and whatnot. So I would say like, you know, uh, just being funny here, but not peace, but war. So therefore, these are the songs I'm going to be playing. And there would be no peace songs on that set. You know what I mean? Something like that, or something weird where like certain songs would be omitted. But I think it would be
Sure, but
funny.
I think that would be okay too, right? Because you got to change it up for yourself too. And as an anything box fan, like if you played a set that didn't contain a song from Peace, I would be okay with that too because I love all your other material as well.
Well, thank you for
Um,
that.
it's it's kind of like there's kind of like when I hear Depeche Mode say when I hear them go, we can't play a set without playing Personal Jesus, and I go, well, that's the last song I want to hear because I've heard it so many times. So I would rather hear Fools, which
Or
I've
the
never
landscape
heard
is
live.
changing.
Yeah, like there's a million songs that I could think of that I would rather hear than Personal Jesus because I've heard it every single time. And I think that's where for you, that's where it's like you have a ton of songs and you can play anything. And for an anything box fan, you're just thankful that you're able to hear it.
Well, it
And
was
so I'll
interesting.
take whatever I can get.
So last night, um, so just FYI, so everyone knows this, full disclosure here, but whenever I do a set, I don't pre-plan the flow of the set. I may have what I call mini sets. Like I'll say to myself, if I do Our Dreams, then I'm gonna do Hypocrites, and then after that, I may do Soul on Fire. But that's not like set in stone. So I'll bring with me probably about 2.5 to 3 hours worth of stuff, so that's what I have to choose from. Now, sometimes I have like a kind of a set idea, right? So, like for example, last night I knew I was going to play a lot of Hope songs. So I started off the set with mostly peace songs, and then I went into the Hope era, and that's kind of what I did. And then I veered a little bit back, and then we played something off Worth, which was Beat of Life. So
Yeah.
the point I'm making, though, is that I sort of can pick and choose, but it was interesting because last night some people were calling out tracks that I had no clue that, first of all, people even knew them, much less that I even had them on my set. Like, I would have probably played them, but it was like really odd stuff where I was like, wow, I don't know where that came from. Like a lot of stuff from Electrodelica and Universe, actually, which was really funny because I was not expecting that at all.
Well, I've called you a couple of weeks ago, and Electrodelica is my favorite album of yours out of everything, even though like I came in when you started with Peace, and then all of a sudden I got lucky. I was at the warehouse, and all of a sudden I saw Hope, and that's when I called you a couple of weeks ago. I said I found that Orange Works number on the back, and I called, and I'm like, hey, what happened to Beat of Life, and where's the album that song supported? And somebody was like being very political and like, sorry, we don't have that, blah blah blah. And then I saw you at a show with Memory Garden, and you guys were selling that CD, and I went, holy crap, here's the CD, that was never released.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought several copies because I bought it for myself, and I bought it for a couple of my friends that I sent them to. And I'm like, holy shit, I just saw Anything Box. There's this album that you guys have not seen. I'm thankful that I'm in LA because ever since from that Hope show until 1998, I saw every live show that you guys ever did in the LA area, like at the Glass House, at the Copacetic Cafe.
Awesome.
With Brave New World at the Whiskey.
Yes.
Yeah,
you've been to all of them. I know exactly who you are. So awesome.
So for 6 years, I was lucky enough to like. I have friends that are like, holy crap, like we haven't even seen Anything Box once. And so I have a lot of friends that are Anything Box fans. So I try to we all huddle around the fact that we're fans and that you are still releasing music.
Well, thank you.
Even Electrodelica and the songs, the albums that came out after, they're just as good. You changed it up a little bit, and even Hope, which is so dancey and like that was like almost like a techno pop, electro, like all combined into one. Like that was probably your most like dancey album ever, which I loved as well. But I love the hearing the instruments and Electrodelica and
so,
all the other stuff that you started doing afterwards. Well,
thank you for that.
I got
thank
nothing
you.
to say, but I got nothing but praise.
Well, thank you. So I'm gonna let you pick the next song, but think about this. It has to be a chill track.
A chill track. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because you said you wanted obscure, so
mellow.
So I've already kind of picked one out before you said that to me because I've also bought your albums more than once because I had my apartment was robbed, so I lost 500 CDs.
Ouch!
And I had to repurchase. I lost everything from A to R because I kept everything in alphabetical order.
Oh man!
So anal, and I kept it in chronological order. So if it was from Peace to Electro, I kept everything in chronological order from the release of albums. So I also had all your like mixology, like all the stuff
that's awesome, man.
Awesome,
Dan.
What I pulled out was Do You Hear Me Anymore from your mixology.
Ooh, so that's the one. All right, let's see. Do I?
Yeah.
Oh, could be
you
good.
You said you wanted it obscure. So
there it is.
I tried to...
The live studio one is the one that's on mixology. Okay, it's queued. You're all set. Thank you for calling, and thanks for the opinion. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Claude.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And here it is. Do you hear me anymore? Um, so yeah. So we were talking about like doing like strange sets. But I'm gonna try it like doing it virtual first. So I'm gonna try doing something probably around summer where I pick a certain set and I dress up the room, this room, and my kids do not hear me anymore. Tim, you're so funny, Tim. Never change. I can't get over that one. That was so funny. Nobody hears me anymore. There's a million jokes there, but it's so funny. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna try it. I think I will try it first as a sort of stream like thing, and then we'll see how that goes. Um, yeah, we could do a set list that gets created here, Liam. Um, we could do like a vote. And then whatever happens, happens. But you know what happens though? Those kind of things, I kind of get the gist of like, everybody's favorite songs of blah blah blah. So it winds up being the same set every time. Because I can tell you, like 9 out of 10 people will have "Living in Oblivion" in it. And there's, first of all, there's nothing wrong with that. However, so I left a part out of my little idea there. So let's say that I put a set together that was more on the experimental end of things. What I would do is probably I would have "Living in Oblivion" in it, but then I would do a different rendition completely different than the normal, which would fit with the rest of the set. So that's kind of like what I had in mind. So that if I do something, then it doesn't necessarily have to be that version, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I know. Mike says, let me do your set list. I can tell you that Mike's set list would look very dark. It would be a very dark set. But that's kind of how I felt last night. Because of the succession of songs, I realized I had gone down a path, and I wound up not doing Rise, which was part of the set. But last night it got omitted in favor of, I can't remember what happened. Oh, I know. Kiss of Love came in early. So it was just funny. Oh gosh, me on a piano. You know what's funny, Dan? I don't think I could play the piano and sing at the same time. I think I would probably like screw that up. So it would be like more like me and a bunch of weird blippity sounds or something. But no, I didn't do Dead Stars last night. I wanted to, and that's funny because again, someone requested it, but in the way the set was structured, it was supposed to be like it was going down a certain path, and I'm glad I followed it in the end because it worked. But oops, we got a call.
Call from
250.
Someone requested it.
to accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Are you going to be like the weekly caller?
Hi. I soon always get lucky and get a hold of you.
That's so funny. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Just contending with my hangover after effects.
So how are you tonight?
Mellow. Just mellow.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
too.
Just mellow. I'm fine. And
I had mentioned earlier because I got on your stream a little late because I was actually DJing, and I actually played a couple of your songs.
right.
So that was a lot of fun. Because I'm always trying to get people to listen to your music.
So when you did it, like, what did you pick?
It was Beat of Life, like the remix. Trying to think which remix it was. Danny.
Oh, Danny Tenaglia. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was
So the
playing
more
that one, and-
disco-y dance thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I played that one, and then I played trying to think what the other one was I played. It was the other remix of what's the name of the song? My mind's drawing a blank. Fast Forward.
Fast Forward.
Yeah.
See,
that one.
that's funny. I had rehearsed that one for last night's set too, but it didn't. It
okay.
wound up not happening. But
okay.
You
Yeah,
like I said,
was...
I'll pick like 2 hours worth of stuff. Now, obviously, I don't play for 2 hours. I mean, sometimes I do play for 2 hours, but it stretches out, right? But I'll have 2 hours to 3 hours worth of stuff. Like I'll have all kinds of stuff to pick from. And then something will hit me in that evening and I'll just do it, like, cause last night, I'll tell you right now, like I felt the pain was not supposed to be on the set and it wound up on the set, which is funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I was thinking about what you were talking about with the other caller. I said, I think me personally, I would be more, I think I would enjoy listening to stuff you rarely play instead of the stuff that, normally gets played. I mean, because everybody usually asks, okay, we're living in Oblivion. They usually ask for that song. They usually ask for Jubilation or something like that.
Right, which is fine.
Like I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy all your songs. But I think, me personally, I would rather hear the stuff that hardly ever gets played. But that's just my opinion.
So I'm quoting someone's question here because now the chat's like alive, right? But someone's saying that the $1 million question is, where would you play this show with a preset published set list? So I think I would probably do it. Here first, like as a stream of some sort. And then I would experiment, but either that or like a gallery showing or something, like something strange like that, like if I had a gallery showing somewhere and then it's like, oh, but I'm going to do a very special set to go with this.
That would actually kind of be cool because considering you're doing your book and everything with your art, see, that would kind of go well with that even, I think, in my opinion.
Thank you. So think Mellow. What would you want to hear?
Let me see. Well, you were talking about Mellow.
Yeah.
Let me think.
Avoid a dance song.
Something a little bit darker, which is one of my favorite songs. In Your Smile.
Okay. All right. So yeah. I'm gonna play that one. And thank you for calling.
Oh, anytime. Seems like I catch you every week.
It's okay.
All right. All right.
We're gonna play In Your Smile.
All right. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. And I think someone else picked that one too. So you're in good company.
Oh, okay. All right. Talk to you later.
Now I'm like thinking, should I play? I don't know. Should I play I think I should do like the really old version of that song. Nah. Okay. Yeah. I'll play the ones from Mixology. Although I got to tell you, on the new album, I've redone it. So, but anyway, live studio. Here we go. I think. Uh-oh.
I feel so that
Ooh, almost dead air there. So hold on. I'm going to turn the phone line back on. But so Krista asked if my kids enjoyed my singing, and the truth is, it's subjective because obviously it was around all the time, so it's just like a normal thing. That's just dad's job, right? But both my daughters actually have really good voices, but they didn't pursue it professionally. Although I was able to get my oldest daughter to do some backing vocals on some of the albums. And a lot of people don't know that. And we have a call.
Call from.
AJ.
To accept, press 1.
Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, Claude. What's up?
How's it going?
It's going, man. I just want to say thanks for last night. Had a great time, me and my mom. And I wanted to ask you, how did you find out about Bob Harrow, or how did you, how'd you get him to play last night?
It was Robert. Robert set that up. Because usually when, like, I'm full disclosure here, like, usually when I'm like getting to, doing a show or whatever, I don't like, it's rare that I'm going to go after certain bands to open. So I actually didn't know about Bob Harrow. I was introduced to Bob Harrow from Robert, and I was blown away. So then obviously, yes, it all worked, but I had to get my, I had to get my teeth into his music and get into it. And I wasn't as familiar. I didn't know of him because I didn't follow the other scenes he was in. So it just goes to show you how much music's out there that nobody knows, that to this day I discover stuff even from back then that I did not know existed. So it just goes to show.
Yeah. It's crazy because I found out like years ago when there was just a little snippet of this song on this documentary, of the Andy Warhol documentary, and I mean, I had to dig for it, and I talked to him last night about it, and he was really, really cool, and he's like, man, I bet you this is before anything really came out, because he was all into BMX and stuff, but he was making music in like his basement or something, and then this music's pretty old, and now I was just wondering, because when I heard that, I'm like, oh my God, this sounds like Anything Box. But, I kind of like, I was just surprised because I found out like a week ago that he was opening, and I thought I would never be able to see him. And then I heard it was the second show and everything, got to hang out.
And it was cool. Awesome. He was good too.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. Yeah. That's actually like, those are the bonus times when I get to enjoy other music too. You know what I mean? So yeah, Bob Harrow, Blacklight, amazing. So it was a lot of fun.
Blacklight was awesome too. Definitely. Well, man, thank you so much. We love you.
So you got a mellow. So think, because so far people still picking dance songs. So think mellow, slow, what?
Well, I was thinking last night I wanted to hear World Without Love, Smile, or Lady in Waiting. But
not mellow enough. I'm talking mellow. Like, what's mellow?
There's so much, but those are the ones I wanted to hear last night. I know, because I mean, all your music really has a really good like dancey vibe. Is there another version of Blue Little Rose?
That's a good one. That's not as dancey.
I love that song. It reminds me of my daughter. So every time I hear you sing it, I heard you play it in Denver, and it was just like, it was getting me all choked up.
Oh, thank you. Well, sounds good. I think that's the one we'll do. I don't think I could do. Yeah, because World Without Love to me still would be not as mellow as the mood I'm in right now. But Blue Little Rose is the right mood. We'll do that one.
Okay, cool. Sweet, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being there last night.
Yeah.
Oh, and you reminded me of something, so I'm gonna bring it up. For in general, so stay tuned, okay? So because I'm gonna announce the NFT part of last night.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm gonna talk about that once we come back.
Okay. Love you, Claude. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the call.
Okay. Talk
And
to you later. Bye.
thank you. Here we go. Sorry, I'm like doing 10 things at once, as always. But here it is, Blue Little Rose.
Blue little rose, you are crying. I am trying to let you know that I love you so, sweet little rose. Let your petals sway on your lonely days in the wind of my heart. I can't help you see what it's like to be taken from the garden where you grew up with me. I can set you free if you'll just run to me. All the thorns will go away if you'll stay with me, little rose. All the thorns will go away if you'll stay with me, little rose. All the thorns will go away if you'll stay with me, little
Blue Little Rose. And this is what I mean by mood. So that's what I meant by mood. Like so let me explain. My ears are still ringing from last night. So I'm like, I want to hear like more mellow things. You can hear my voice, mellow. But see, that's one of those examples of a song that if I put that in a set, I would have to like go around it with other things. So I'm gonna have to try it one of these things. I'm gonna try one of these weird sets one day. I think I'll try it on the channel first, and then we'll move on to, because that's just the way it is. Krista says that was different. I don't know if that means good or bad, but we're gonna take it as good. But yeah, that was from Electrodelica. So yeah, and I've got another weird one coming up. But so yeah, so I am excited about Long Island. I am. But I'm still thinking about like all the stuff that happened last night. Last night was crazy. It was crazy. I so enjoyed it. At any rate. So I hope you're enjoying yourselves. I'm going to turn this little thing on that says, now is a good time to subscribe and hit that bell and all that stuff, because guess what? Last week we hit the 9,000 mark, and we're over 9,000 now, which means I'm even closer. I think we're 800 people away from the 10,000 mark. I am going to make that 10,000 happen this year. We have to. We have to do it together. We do. The reason is because after a set amount, some cool stuff opens up for the channel, and it's not like I'm a YouTuber or anything. It's not about that. But I think it's one of those things where it'll help the shows a lot. It'll help just get more attention, which is nice. I'm not going to say I'm abhorrent to attention, because obviously I'm in a band and I tour and all that stuff. And my voice sounds horrible right now. I sound horrific. I could do the entire thing like this. Anyway, but yeah. Anyway, remarkably enough, though, my throat does not hurt. Is that the same link, Mike? Because that's not the one I have. I have a completely different link. Are there two links now? That's the one I have. Oh, I just have a shorter link. That's funny. But it's the same, it's the actual same one. Huh, that's interesting. Well, one of those works. But yeah. Well, the one that I'm using is the correct one then, because it brings it right up. And yeah, I'm using the correct one. It works. So, yeah, and it's a faster link. It's a shorter link. But, send a greeting. Oh, so, hi, David. Villegas to Ciudad Juarez, Chihuahua, Mexico. You're so funny. That's awesome, David. But I would love to play Juarez. I have good, fond memories, very fond memories of Juarez. In fact, I think there's 2 videos from Juarez that are posted on the Anything Box channel that are pretty good. So, at any rate, so my mellow mood. So I'm going to play a song that I don't think I play often enough on the set stuff. But I have, okay, so let me retract that statement. I've never played this song live, but I have rehearsed it, meaning that sometimes I feel brave enough to rehearse it, but it never quite makes the set. because it's mellow. So who knows? This is one of those that I think has interesting textures. When so I'm going to tell you how the percussion on this song was done before I play it, so you kind of get an idea of why it's so strange. Did you ever fast forward on a CD where it looks like it's chopping things up and it sounds sort of like, and it's like, just chopping things up? Well, I decided that it would be interesting to pop in a CD of drum loops and fast forward through them. And all I did was just basically hit the fast forward button, the scan fast forward button while the CD was playing, but I ran a line out so that I could record that. Yes, like a chatty robot. And then I cut all of those up and I made a kit out of it. And that's how the drums were done for the song that I'm about to play, which is very mellow. So I'm going to play that song first, and then I'll open up the phone line again. But, it'll just keep the mood. I'm in that kind of a mood. So, UFO cam for this one. This is The Way of Souls.
When the night has come and you're not so strong, even though you know that everything's okay, you will want to stray, wish your love away, even though there will be futures left to find. I know it's gonna burn, I know it's gonna burn, I know it's gonna burn until the light. I know it's gonna burn, I know it's gonna burn, I know it's gonna burn until the light. When the night has won and you're lying there, all the covers of your bed are all a mess. You will twist and turn from the sting of tears, scanning memories to find a way outside. I know it's gonna burn, I know it's gonna burn, I know it's gonna burn until the light. I know it's gonna burn, I know it's gonna burn, I know it's gonna burn until the light. It's the way of the soul.
Oh, I almost did not make it back. So, I forgot this was going to happen. Thank you. So I am prepping, or was prepping, an NFT for to teach a very specific lesson with regards to the Hollywood show. But I'll get into those details as this week rolls on, because I have to get Robert involved and you guys will figure it out. But basically, if you bought a ticket that was for the meet and greet in Hollywood, I hope you didn't throw it away, because I want you to scan it or take a picture of it and post it on my Facebook. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those tickets, all of the ones that were meet and greets, and I'm going to incorporate them into a piece of artwork that only the people that had those specific tickets will get. So that's the plan. So it started out that what I was going to do, I already had a graphic in mind and I had already done something, but I thought it would be even cooler if everyone that was there that had one of those tickets, those meet and greets, that just to make it that much more special, to have their ticket in that artwork, so that way I can showcase some of the value of a real non-fungible token, meaning that you do have something that no one else has, and there is a direct access to that thing that no one else has that you have. It sounds more complicated than it is, but the reality of it is, I noticed that there were some sort of printouts that everyone was carrying around to get scanned, and that's what gave me the idea to do it that way, which I think will wind up being really cool for some future events. So it's just something to do. I know there wasn't that many, so I think it's like 20 of you or 30 of you that did that, but hey, get it while you can, because it's going to be fun. And as far as like, I got a message on here that says, Carlos Mode Gahan said, I logged into my Kukai wallet and it shows 0 Tezos and no NFTs. My honest guess is that probably in your wallet you have 2 accounts, and one of them is the one you're logged into that is got the 0 stuff, and the other one is the stuff that has all your NFTs in it. Unless, of course, you fell for a scam. That happened to me, and it does suck. So next time that I get into, I think I'm going to do like a whole class on NFT things. I think I need to, only because I'm so into it that I feel like, at least if I educate you guys into it, you will probably not get scammed the way I got scammed and lost stuff. So, but yeah, so I'm definitely looking into very specialized, form of things. Uh-oh, something just happened. Hold on. Speaking of, Liam, go right ahead. If you're out there, do it. So, I'm ready for you, man. He's been trying to call for like the last half hour. Give the dude a break. Let him call. But yeah, call Liam. It's open, and there it is.
Call from.
Chris.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Hi. Did you say?
Hi, Claude.
Did you say Chris?
I did.
Liam got messed up again. That's so funny.
No, you're good.
It's
You're
all good. It's all
yeah,
good.
we're appreciate you doing this, and I know you must be tired after last night, but that sounds exciting. So you're probably still living on the energy of that.
Yeah, I am. I
Um,
am. Although I will tell you, man, it took until 4:30 to feel somewhat normal. Because I got in so late, and I did have quite a bit of a after effect from last night, good and bad. The bad part's all the physical stuff, but obviously I'm fine.
good.
So
Yeah, I'm here with Amy. You were talking about your set lists, your proposed set list that you would announce before the show, and she says, and we both kind of agree that as your true fans, whatever set list you'd put out there, people would go. I mean, at the end of the day, they just would go. So you do whatever it is that you want to do,
Well,
and we will enjoy it as we always have.
well, thank you for that. I think that what I was
Um,
really thinking about, like putting it together in my head again, was I kept thinking about a certain part of last night that I thought, man, what if I had done like the entire Hope album last night? Like, you know what I mean? From beginning to end or something. Like, should I
right.
announce something like that and then do it? Like, but then it got into this whole like, performance thing, like a performance art thing, I guess. But you're right. I mean, I know you're right in that most people, right? But it's funny. I've gone to places where I know this sounds strange, but where they'll literally want to hear Living in Oblivion twice. I've never done that, but
Wow.
there's places where they're like, we want you to, where the promoters actually said to me, we want you to open with Living in Oblivion, and then we want you to close with Living in Oblivion. And I'm like, why? I'm like, take your pick. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously some promoters that will like strictly tell me like, oh, it has to be all hits from like blah blah blah, and it has to be only the 12 inches, and I'm like, no. The
Really?
answer is always no, but I acquiesce on certain things. But obviously, playing Living in Oblivion, um, you know, it's just like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
play.
Well,
Let's just play Living in Oblivion all night.
well, you're not Men Without Hats. I remember seeing them at an '80s show, and they played Safety Dance at the beginning of the show and then at the end of their show. And they
Yeah, I
only
can't
played
do
like
that.
6 songs.
Yes, yeah, I
And
can't do
so
that.
no, and well, you shouldn't, because you have a ton more material than they do, and and your real fans, like more of the obscure songs, I think, because they're just, a lot of them just have a beauty and a deepness to them
Well, thank you for
that
that. Thank you.
only your fans would really get, I think, anyway. But talking about your set lists, that topic, I'm curious. So when did you create the set list for your Hollywood show? And number 2, how did it differ from Mexico City, and then why? Some of your reasonings there.
So to give you an idea, I've believe me, I've talked to other bands like about this particular thing I'm about to tell you, and they think I'm crazy. 99% of all bands pre-plan their set beginning to end. This is the song I'm starting with. This is the song that we end with. This is our encore, blah, 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 right? Like that is the way that it was done. And even for us, it was sort of done that way. So we would have like, if I go back, let's say 15 years ago, we would pick whatever the song is that's going to open the set. This is where we are in the middle, and this is where it ends. And, we might take a song out here and there, but rarely we would add a song in, right? But I stopped doing that when I started doing shows on my own. And the reason that I do it this way is because I'm crazy. But basically what I do is I'll rehearse 2 to 3 hours worth of stuff. no particular order. And sometimes when I'm in the rehearsal hall, I'll do a set and I'm like, oh, wow, that set would be amazing if I do it like this, start with this, end with that, like whatever it is, right? So one of the things that I do is, yeah, there are certain songs that make the set every night. So, I mean, I'm going to give you the skinny on that. Of course, Living in Oblivion's in the set. You're going to have Kiss of Love on the set. You're going to have When We Lie on the set. Those are typical songs that people are going to want on the set. But from day to day, like if I'm touring and I'm going to be in a different city the next day, I can guarantee you that I'm not opening with the same song. I can guarantee you that the song that was in the middle of the set might be at the end. Like I will mix them up. So Hollywood was planned to be more of a hope-oriented set. So I knew I was going to do a set somewhere where it was going to be mostly hope songs, and then I was going to go into other areas. Last minute, and I mean this, like a day before, I decided I'm not going to leave Jubilation to the end. I'm going to start with it. So like I completely changed the entire feeling of the sets. And I think that it worked last night because normally I don't open with Jubilation. I usually save that one. So a lot of it I don't plan. I just rehearse. So meaning if I'm going to do the song, at least I know what I'm doing. But these days it's funny because sometimes you'll see me on stage and I'll stop and I'll be like, where am I going from here? Because like I'm trying to find the emotion that's next, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And I think,
I mean, you're DJing your own set in a way.
yeah. And so yeah, exactly. So what I feel happens is that it goes with some sort of emotion, like some sort of weird little path. And hopefully if I'm good, meaning that when it's a really good night, the crowd's with me in the entire way. You know what I mean? And I don't have any lulls, right?
Right.
That's awesome if it happens, but seldom does that happen. Seldom does that not happen because there's always a lull in some set. There's gonna be something that somebody wasn't expecting. But for me, it's one of those weird things like, I don't know, like someone picking a song out of a hat and then suddenly everybody wants that song. And I'm like, the only song I didn't practice, then it's not on the set. That's like the worst thing that can happen.
That.
I'm like, oh my God, I have 35 songs I could play and this is the one they picked. No.
Yeah, you said that about I Felt the Pain, I think, earlier.
Yeah, I had purposely not practiced it since Mexico, which was like back in February. So it was one of those like, I know it, of course I know it, but it does require practice, So this week, the last 2 weeks, I hadn't rehearsed it at all because I was thinking, it's not gonna be on the set with so many other songs to pick from, and the way that set is laid out, I don't even think I'm gonna make it to that song, even if I wanted it. And sure enough, that's the one. And the one song that I wanted to play, which is really funny, I knew instinctively it wasn't the right fit for the night, and I didn't do it, which was Rise, which is funny to me. It's like I could have probably gotten away with it last night, but for whatever reason, emotionally, I couldn't do it. It was like, no, I'm gonna have to skip this one and go to something else, and so that's what happens. So
well, that's interesting, because it really kind of shows even more to us how much of an artist you really are, and
or a crazy person.
Because no, and when you're going to Mexico City versus Hollywood, I mean, when you go to Mexico City, are you thinking anything set list wise like differently, like because you're going to Mexico City? No?
Oh, sure. For Mexico City, it's completely different set. So let me tell you a story about that. In Mexico City, there was, and I'm talking back in the 90s, there was 2 Mexican soap operas that were using songs from Peace in the actual like part of the music. And then someone sent me some news channel or some comedy channel and they would start their entire show off with When We Lie. So I kind of wanted to focus the set on those particular songs that had been used because I thought it was interesting to do that kind of a set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought, well, that'll be fun. Like if I do like stuff that they know from these novellas, right? That would be fun. So that kind of informed a set for me. So it was a little more piece centric. But I did do stuff from Distances. I did stuff from Worth. I did stuff from, Hope. But it was focused a lot on the Peace album or this particular set of Peace songs. So it wound up being like 3/4 of the album in Mexico City, you know.
Yeah.
But it happens.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I'm glad that you play songs from Distances because that's so great, and
well, thank you.
I'm glad that I'm glad that you do that. Amy's with me. Say hi to Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Yeah, and so she has this idea that she has she can't go to shows necessarily or doesn't care to, but they have these streaming shows that you can pay to see.
Yeah.
And so that might be a good idea for you, maybe even to use your set list that you're talking about creating and doing that maybe online. I'm sure all of us here that are on all these platforms would pay to see you live on our TV.
Hey, it would be cheaper. It would be cheaper. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna try it. Particularly when the new record's done, because I think that'll be fun to do. So yeah, you're kind of pushing me in the right direction right there. I'm like thinking about it now. Like, yeah, I think that's the right way to do like if you're gonna do a brand new record, right?
Right.
It's like, why not do a set based on that new record and do it as a live stream for the first time and let everyone just from wherever they are, just enjoy it. And then you know what you're getting. You're not going to a show expecting to hear the oldies and suddenly everybody's hearing a new album. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right.
That's funny. Enlightened Marco says $150 is reasonable. That's funny. No, it wouldn't be expensive like that. But that's funny though. It's anything box only fans. Tim, anything box only fans. That's funny. Oh my gosh.
So anyways, well, I've taken up a lot of your time. I appreciate it, and
thank you for calling.
You get a good night's sleep tonight.
So, well, thanks for that. I'm gonna definitely do that. So, is there one moody A-box track that you have in mind?
There is. I hope it's to your liking. It's definitely from Worth, and it's an ending.
Ah, an ending.
Yes.
In fact, it is. Okay. So let's see. Last night it was so funny. I was so wanting to play that song last night as the end. See, this is what's funny. I actually was one of the ones that was not on the set and I had not rehearsed it. And then last night I was like, damn it, I should have put that on the set. It was so funny. It's like a last minute change. You know what I mean? So as the sets get more elaborate, I bet you that I'll have like more to choose from for myself. But it means
well, now you can play it tonight.
Well, you know what it means though, right? It's like, do you realize what I'm suggesting is really hard? Because it means that I have to rehearse every single one of those songs to get it right. So it's not the same 10. Yeah, that's right. So I spent the last week rehearsing like a 3-hour set, basically, that just so that I would get acclimated to all of them. So no surprises, remarkably enough, I did okay. So, but all right.
And then do you have like situations where you're rehearsing a song all 3 hours and you run into a song and you're like, no, I'm not feeling that one. I'm definitely not doing that one.
So this happened last night. So, there's a song on Hope called Every Single Day. And I haven't played it in years. And I've been rehearsing it, and I kept messing up the words, but finally I kind of got it right, and I was like, okay, I got this. It's gonna be fine. Practiced it, re-edited the middle a little bit because I wanted to have a little more drum time, and then I thought, cool, I'm ready for it. Last night, it was all set. I was gonna play it. Well, long story short, I actually did play it, but I held it off. And then towards the end of the evening, I felt a little braver, and I was like, well, screw it, I'm doing it. It turned out to be one of my favorite songs from last night's set. Like, it really worked last night. Like, people sang it really loud, and it was just, like, so awesome. So for me, I was like, sometimes you got to go against that weird feeling of, like, I'm not feeling it, or this is, like, too scary, or I haven't practiced it enough, or whatever it is, and you just got to kind of just go with it, So,
Yeah.
but it worked. So it was awesome. It could have gone terribly wrong,
Well,
right? But it worked.
Yeah. Well, quoting that song, as a fan, I want to say we appreciate you. Give us your heart. You give us your soul.
Thank you.
And you have a very good night, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye. So, funny enough, we're coming towards the end, but what we'll do... So, I'm like dying to give Liam a chance to call. So Liam, if you're still listening, call. So funny. Yeah, David Nelson says, I think you got braver from the two Mai Tais. Maybe. Right? Oh, but it was funny. Enlightened Marco says, I just asked my AI what I'm doing and it called me a fanboy. That's hilarious. Tim, what if it was Liam Gallagher? That'd be funny. He'd be like, get off the air, you... That's funny. So... I'll leave it on, just in case. But I'm going to play an ending. And we're getting close to the end, but we're going to just play an ending from Worth. What happened? Oops. Hiccup. Let's try it again.
Have been pushed away by pride.
Ha! It cut out. That's funny. So, anywho, yes, I am mellow and tired. So, there's gonna be one more before we sign off, but cause yeah, Claude is tired. But last night, Half of Eloquent was there, and it was fun. It was good. Oh my gosh. Oh man, I am like so burnt. I need to go to sleep. I need to go to sleep. Otherwise, it's gonna start getting like the voice is gonna start getting deeper and deeper and deeper. It's gonna be funny. But so over the weekend, I am going to post the instructions for those that got the meet and greets, and I'll get together with all of you to go over your NFT thing, and we will see what has happened next. And so unless Liam calls right now, he's gonna be funny. Liam's gonna be funny because he's gonna be like, "Oh my god, all this attention," but it's true. So we were all wanting you to call because like I want to know what he has to say. So we'll see if he calls, but if he doesn't, I'm going to say goodnight soon. And I do have the right song queued up for that. So, or at least I think I do. Yeah, I do. Good. Right? You're so funny. But just want to say thank you to everyone that was there last night. Thank you so much. And I will see you all soon because I have a feeling that we're going to go and we'll probably wind up doing something else in Hollywood. I have an idea that I want to kind of flesh out, but I'm definitely going to work on that special set now. Now that I kind of know where I'm going with it. That should be fun. That way everybody can watch, no matter what age you are, no matter where you are in the world. You just have to tune in. So that would be kind of fun. So this weird special set. I wonder what it could be. But anyway, we'll figure it out. So I am going to sign off. Unless Liam calls. But he's the only one allowed to call. Can't be anybody else. So I'm going to play Goodbye. Apropos style. We'll turn on the visuals. And they're not running, but that's okay. I don't know what happened there. What happened? There they go. Nice. And here we go. You're so funny, Tim. I just lost. I just lost the folder. No!
You're leaving tonight is the last time I'll see your face again. Does it have to end this way? Does it have to end this way for you and me tonight? Is there someone you must see, or am I blind? You can bring me anything you want to hear me say, but always now your dream, your life away. You should know inside my heart without you. If you run from me, I've heard this once before in my dreams. I've heard this once before in my dreams. I've heard this once Live a lonely life. See yourself decide. The future will pass you by. You don't have to smile as you walk away. The train is waiting for you in the rain. Oh, the train will wait for you in the rain.
You had your chance, Liam. You could have called. Good night.
I'm tired of it. Can't you see it?